So there's two things that I've been thinking about, and one is, well, actually, I think they're both centered in focus, but in a grander scheme, I've been noticing how my mind can focus in on minor irritations, and those irritations harden almost into something maybe you could label disappointment or something grander than irritations. But if I'm able to catch the moment where I kind of clamp down on an irritation, and instead open up to what I'd like to think of as spaciousness, as opposed to like I just had a moment in the bathroom, sharing the bathroom with them. I'm not one of those people that is bothered by one bathroom to a household. I know some people are like really really care about that, but I'm not usually bothered. But I had like a moment where I got moisturizer in my eye, and then it was like both at that moment was when Tennyson and Nick needed to use the sink at the same time, and I was like in pain, and they're like both like rushing in on me, and I'm like, get out of here in my head. I'm like clamping down on the irritation, and I could feel myself clamping down on that little thought and just being like, then making it a larger thing, like I need space, I need my own bathroom, how would it be nice to have my own bathroom, and then and so that small irritation I like grab onto, and then it becomes a big blanketed disappointment that then like I can't afford a house that has 2 bathrooms, a master suite in the back, so in a way it's connected to focus, because we're focusing in on this minor moment, and then that focus becomes our reality. So on the flip side, how are we able to use focus to get into the part of our lives where we want to actualize, which is so in the spaces in between, we like experience spaciousness, we experience breath, so how I got out of that moment where I was feeling those irritations is that I noticed for a moment the irritation beyond the irritation of my eye, but the mental irritation, and I just like maneuvered out of the bathroom. Like, I don't actually need to be in the bathroom to deal with my eye right now. I can be at another mirror. So what I'm kind of talking about is that this whole idea that our thoughts become our patterns become our lifestyle, our deeds become our character becomes our manifest destiny. And so all of these little added up moments of what we're focusing on, whether it's the irritation becoming the greater disappointment, become our life. And so how to find spaciousness in those moments where our mind is taking over and we're clamping down to believe the reality of our thoughts, or we're finding a break, experiencing the kind of scary experience of wide open nothingness. So instead of clamping down on that thought, we're experiencing wide open. It's like fresh air, which can be scary to say, I'm not going to clamp down on this thought. Instead, I'm going to just experience kind of being. And then intentionally use focus when we want to get into flow state, to actualize our goals, to move towards, the work we have to do in our lives, to, move our expression towards something that's closer to our purpose, which is right. The only thing that we really have to do on this world is, I think, experience some amount of peace and move towards our purpose. So, all that being said, meditation and somatic movement with breath is how we practice separating from the thoughts. So let's just have a moment of meditation to start. You can sit cross-legged, crisscross applesauce, or you can sit on your knees, you can sit on a bolster, you can sit on something, you can sit on the pillow. And, thank you. That was a 5-minute monologue to start. Okay, so sitting, assuming the seat of the yogi, however that looks to you, but yeah, that kind of outside in, you know what a yogi looks like, sitting tall, letting the tailbone and the pubic bone root down, so you feel that really grounded experience, digging into the dirt, rooted, and from that rooted expression, where the pelvis is heavy, and gravity is claiming the legs and the feet, and feeling where the feet are touching the ground, like even if it's, you know, in the seated position, the sides of our feet are still touching the ground, and where our body is touching the ground. And then from that, we feel the rise. So root to rise, that kind of basic instruction of yoga, where we find the ground to then build out towards the heaven. And then through that, we become the conduit. We feel the rise from the top of our heads, the easy rise, not a muscular kind of pull, but rather a floating up of the spine as the collarbones grow wide, the shoulder blades are on the back, and then breath comes easy into the body. And centering the self in this moment where we arrive and we bring our heart into our mind. We yoke the two. We spend this moment of checking in with our body, and this is also a really great thing to do before a meeting or a presentation or a job interview or anything, is like we actually bring our full presence into ourselves, and we without going on a full storyline with the answer, you check in with the self. How am I today? How do I feel today? And without going on what is it like to be inhabiting this body today? And without going on the full narrative of the answer, just asking the question opens up that kind of cordial tea time between the heart and the mind and the body. And following the breath. And lengthening the breath, letting the breath smooth out, grow a little longer. The breath becomes the tether to which we attach the mind. And we notice when we start to think and how quickly thoughts tumble into each other, and when you do notice that, you don't beat yourself up. you'd rather label it, and then go back to the breath. It's almost like a landing, like, oh, we landed. We landed our brain and our heart and our breath inside our body, moving, even if it's the morning, but moving and tasking. And finding one more breath that you flow entirely out through the exhale. And ending on an exhale. Breathing in, reaching the arms out, raising the arms up, finding a prayer position in the top, gazing towards the thumb, bringing that down towards the heart, bringing the thumb to the sternum, bowing the head. And in this moment where we find a small bow, we experience whatever prayer means to us. The bow or prostration is occurrent through most every religion or spiritual practice as a signifier of prayer. So we honor the things that are larger than us. And some people find prayer straight through gratitude. You can also just find it just in the moment of bowing to the things that are larger than our tiny little experiences. And then bringing an intention or a dedication into this practice. So this can help you in moments where you maybe don't want to do it, or you need to find extra strength. You connect into either this dedication towards someone or some group of someone's, or an intention that will help you come back to the reason why you're here. It's incredibly personal. And clarifying that intention with words internally, or dedication. And let's do an Om to start the class. Exhale we'll do 3 Oms. Exhale all the breath out. Inhale through the nose. Bowing the head, bringing the thumbs to the forehead, to the intuitive part of the brain. Reaching the arms up, and we're starting a kriya. So this is, we're going to inhale as we reach up and look up, and exhale, hands come into a soft fist, and you bring your arms down to like a cactus position, okay? So inhale through the nose, outhale through the mouth. Outhale. Ready? 10 more. Hold the arms here on your exhale. Let the hands drop. Feel the energy buzzing around and how your reality kind of shifts with this buzzing and the energy created by that breath. Nice. I'm going to change my crossing. Let's just bring the left hand to the right knee. You can do this in the cross-legged or the kneeling position, whatever's working for you. Find an easy twist and build it strong and long so the tailbone is still rooting down, gazing over the right shoulder, and let's bring the other side. Easy twist, and then letting that chest come through long. Shoulder blades on the back, nipples are gazing around, and the head is also gazing around, and the chin comes a little further. And bring it around to the other side again. Feeling that twist all the way through the spine. And once again to this side. And just because it's really nice, threading the fingers, curving out the spine, spreading the shoulder blades as you look down towards the ground. Chin is chest, chin to chest. And then bringing the palms up towards the heaven, arching slightly, letting the hands flutter down, interlace behind the sacrum. Shoulder blades together, kissing at the back, really opening up there, and leaning forward, bringing the palms up as far as you can. Shoulder blades squeezing together, and hugging the self, grabbing the shoulder blades one at a time, loving the self for me. Yeah, cuddle yourself, rock yourself, rock and see clearly now. Rock and see clearly now. The rain is gone. Making a frame around the head. Hands are on each elbow. And pull here. Pull on each elbow. So it's like kind of an asymmetric situation here. Crossing one elbow in front of the body, and then the other. Oh, coming into hands and knees for a moment here. Just a little bit of spine opening with the cat and the cow. I like to have this in every class because I feel like it's a good moment for you to check in with your spine. Open up on your own kind of timing. Wagging the tail. Tucking the toes, and let's bring the knees up off the ground. So you're kind of bringing a little bit more muscular energy into this whole package. Holding that position. And pressing back into a downward dog. You probably have to walk up your hands a little bit. Our first downward dog of the day. Pedaling out the feet. Nice. And then back into that kind of knees hovering off the ground. and bring the feet, it's one step forward, and really find kind of that Halloween cat position in this kind of move. We'll do 3 breaths here. And back to downward facing dog. Lifting up to tippy toes, coming forward into plank. Really bringing the navel to the spine in the plank, not swooping the hips down. And then bend the knees and come back into downward dog. And then let's find a little flow of that. So coming into plank. So first, tippy toes. Coming into plank. Holding that for a moment. Then bending the knees. Sticking the butt out. Straightening the legs. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, plank. Inhale, hold the plank. Exhale, hold the plank. Inhale, hold the plank. Exhale, bend the knees, stick the butt out. Hover, press back. Exhale. Once more. Tippy toes. Plank. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees. Hover for a moment. Inhale. Exhale. Stick the butt out. Knees bent and then they straight. Nice. And now we bring the left leg up. Let's open up the hip. I just really like to open up my hip here and bend the knee, the top left leg, and stack the hips one on top of each other. Bring the heel towards the butt. So this isn't a totally passive pose. Turn out the foot, from the hip. So like bring your heel of your right foot to the ground as much as possible. Straighten out, 3-legged dog. Bring the knee to the nose. Gently, softly step forward. Find that long lunge. Lower the back leg into forward lunge. Finding the hips moving forward. Fingertips are on the ground, shoulder blades are on the back. Gaze is long into the ground. I'm going to talk in this class a little bit about where your drishti or your gaze is. And so this is a way to also bring the focus in where the gaze, where the eyes go, as an extra level of focus. So let's scissor the foot and the knee together. So feel that kind of opposite diagonal magnetic pull. And then navel to spine and raise the arms up, and the drishti is going to be on the thumbs. Let's interlace the fingers like a Charlie's Angel GUN, and breathe here. Gaze is on the thumbs here for 3 breaths. Let the fingers separate, come back down. Very nice. Pick up the knee, the back knee, and find that long lunge with the knee lifted, and the energy of the back glute is still like suck the muscles around the sits bones. So it's not like you're tightening, but you're engaging there. And then with the power of your legs, The left hand comes up and you come into a twisted, revolved lunge here. So the left hand is back, the right hand is forward, the left leg is in a 90 degree or closest you can. Straighten that back right leg. Reach the gaze or the drishti back, if possible, towards the back thumb. And then once you find that back thumb, follow it down, bring the arm down towards the ground. You're still gazing at your hand. The other hand comes up as you come to warrior two. Now the gaze is off the middle finger. Check in again with that knee, pressing into the ground with the feet, scissoring the feet together. The hips come into alignment. Reach back with the right hand so you kind of feel that almost like a tug of war between your hands. Someone's pulling on the front, pulling on the back, that comes into the long arm. Gaze over that middle finger. Find the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Flip that front hand. Reverse the warrior. Lean back. Oh. Gaze up to the fingertips here. The drishti is on the fingertips. Then reach long into a side angle pose. Elbow comes to the knee. Right arm comes over the ear. Gaze underneath the elbow. Separate the hips here. Heel and the outside of the right foot are super glued into the ground. Press the front foot into the ground and then feel that scissoring, that kind of magnetic pull between the two left feet. Reach longer out of that right arm. Feel the diagonal from the foot all the way down. Then coming back into warrior two. Cartwheel the arms down. Step back, plank. Lower down chaturanga. All the way to the ground. Fingertips come outside the mat. Press your toenails into the ground. Arch up, pressing the fingertips into the ground. Suck those thighs together here. Pressing the fingertips into the ground and the toenails to arch up a little bit further and release down. Inhale one more time with the Bhujangasana, arching up and exhale down. Last time, inhale. And bring the hands in towards the nips. Press back, all fours. Cat-cow. Or whatever circles you need to do, or however you need to move your back here, your body. Okay, tucking the toes, pressing into the ground, lift up those knees. Pressing back into a short downward dog, maybe adjusting a little bit. Lifting up the heels. Coming forward into that plank. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bending the knees, sticking the bum up. Coming back into a straight-legged downward dog. One more time with that. Lift up the heels. Coming forward into a plank. Exhale. Inhale. Holding the plank. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees. Hover. Inhale. Exhale. Downward dog. Right leg comes up. Open up the hips. Stacking the hips one on one. Gazing underneath the armpit if you can on the right side. Really separating the knee and the foot. Kicking the back bum with the right foot there. Stretching open. And then straightening to a three-legged dog, bringing in the knee while also sucking in the abdominals to protect the spine. Bringing it all the way to the nose and then stepping forward gracefully, so gracefully. Finding that long line here in that lunge as you lower your knees softly to the ground. Once you lower it softly to the ground, finding that diagonal of your right heel sucking in towards your left knee. And then as you find that stability in the ground, then using your abdominals around your spine to lift your arms up, and then finding the gaze in that Charlie's Angel gun to your thumbs. Separating the arms, coming back down to the ground. Bringing the knee up off of the ground, and then activating all the leg muscles and feeling how good it is to feel that kind of strength as you bring the right arm with the gaze to the you're going to bring the right hand and you're going to reach it out back. So this is a revolved lunge. You bring the right arm up and then reach and watch it as it reaches out back. You're crossed here, revolved. Yeah, gaze is towards the right thumb. So the back thumb, nice. This is not an easy pose. Revolved lunge, breathing. Lean back a little bit towards that arm, yeah. Nice. Making sure that back leg is straight. Nice. Bending in the right leg. And then following the thumb down towards the mat as it swoops and the left arm comes in a big circle and we open up into Warrior Two. Oh, settling into Warrior Two. Like it's a resting position. Gaze is, the drishti is focused here off of the middle finger, just like you're gazing into the horizon beyond the middle finger. And separating the knees here so the hips become more on one plane, and also checking in with your mid-body so that the arms are kind of being pulled in each direction so you're not leaning over the front. Finding one more breath here, sucking the feet together, grounding in, rooting into the earth with your feet. Flip the front hand, reverse your warrior. Reaching up. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath. Soft through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. Bringing the elbow to a side angle here. Side angle pose. Long line. The left arm finds a diagonal to the left leg here. Sucking, so lifting up the arch and super gluing the outside of the foot onto the mat as you pull isometrically the feet together. That creates the whole structure of this pose. Coming back into Warrior Two. Cartwheel the hands down. Stepping back into our plank. Lowering down all the way. Pressing into a baby cobra. Press back in child's pose. And finding a little bit of rest here before we move on to a little bit to a different version of this flow. It's a little bit more heated. We'll do kind of faster transitions and add on, but as I have a lovely nose. experienced so much mucus in the last, it's so beautiful, man. It's never ending, it's a waterfall. It's the last month. I didn't know I could make so much. I'm so productive. All right, coming back into hands and knees, tucking the toes, lifting the knees, making a little curve with the back, stepping back into that downward facing dog, coming forward into a plank, bending the knees, sticking out the bum, back into downward dog. Left leg comes up, open it up, drop the knee, open up the side, twist here underneath, gaze underneath the armpit. Now bring that to a three-legged dog, press the wall behind you. And then here we're going to keep the legs straight and look back at the back toe, and you're gonna, as much as you can straight, you're gonna bring the straight leg over to the left. So you're bringing it into a lunge, but we're going to bring a straight leg as much as we can over while you're gazing, and then bend it. Put it on the outside of the foot. I almost did that. And rock back and forth so the left foot is outside the right foot. Here. Lower the back leg. Bring the elbows down if you can, or just one elbow down maybe. Yeah. Bring the knee up off the ground. Opening up that hip. And bring the hands back to standing. Bring the knee back inside the foot. Lower that back leg. Exhale out the air. Inhale. Arch it up. Soft as ki, Anjaneyasana. Bringing into that Charlie's Angels gun. Then bringing a prayer position all the way down with an exhale. Pressing up the knee. Bring the left hand into a revolved lunge. Finding that revolved lunge here. Inhale. Exhale. Left arm comes down. Right arm comes up. Warrior two. Inhale. Reverse the warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, warrior two. Coming into crescent pose. So that's just a kind of regular lunge here. And then from this crescent pose, we're going to come into warrior two in one grand movement, shooting forward. Long body from the heel to the head. Now bend that back leg, bringing the knee in to the chest. Ooh, finding balance here. Hug the knee to the chest. Release the knee and extend the leg out. Oh yeah. Flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, bring the knee back in. Grab it with the left hand, and then find that gaze behind you. Extending out the right hand and trying to move the gaze out to the right hand. And that thumb, whoa. Coming back, I lost it. Coming back to the knee, let's come to tree. So the foot comes either to the inner thigh, or if that seems too much to you, it can also come to this lower position where your foot's on the ground. Or it can come to your calf. It's just really not foot against the knee. So if you can find that upper inner thigh, pressing the thigh together with the foot, Bringing the hands to the chest. In a prayer position. Being a tree. Bringing the knee back into the chest. Stepping back down. Feet on the ground, mountain pose. Feeling that kind of release of having both feet on the ground. Let's bring that knee back up one more time to the chest. And then bring it back to warrior 3. So airplane position. Wah! Reach out, bend the standing leg, and step back into a lunge. Nice. Crescent pose. Let's reverse, revolve this crescent. So the left hand comes back again. Gaze comes over. Drishti comes over to that thumb. Thumb comes down. Warrior 2. Cartwheel all the way down. Step back. Chaturanga. Find your own chaturanga, either knees, chest, and chin. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice work. Let's do the other side. Right comes up. Open up. Twist. Gaze under the armpit. Kick the bum. Separate the knee. Knee comes up to the sky. There you go. 3-legged dog. And then that crazy thing where we're finding the foot, finding the toenail, watching it as a straight leg comes around. Oh yeah, all the way, as much as possible. And gracefully plops onto the outside of the foot. You find this dragon, this lizard pose here. Bring 1 or 2 elbows to the ground, opening up the hips. Pressing back into the hands, sneaking that foot back into the inside the cradle of the frame of the arms. Pressing into the ground, revolving, doing a revolved lunge here. Gazing back. So you're gazing back towards your right arm. Yes. Then you're going to follow the right arm down as the left arm comes up. Open up to warrior 2. Flip it, reverse it. If you got a big, it can twerk. Got it. Flip it and reverse it. Coming into side angle. Oh yeah. Once again with that, reversing, opening up the side body, bending the knee here still, reaching back, and side angle pose. Straightening to crescent here, arms up, as kind of in a grand explosion of energy. Shoot forward like Superman into warrior 3. Whoa. Long from the foot to the tail. Bring the knee in to the chest. Straightening up. Left knee comes to the right knee. Left hand comes to the right knee. Reach back with the left hand. Gaze over to the left thumb. And follow it down, back, hugging into the leg, extending that foot and leg, out, flexing the foot, pointing the foot, flexing the foot, bringing it back in. tree. Oh, being the tree here. Sucking the thigh into the foot. Finding a prayer either at your chest or over your head. Or you can have branches. And sway in the wind. Tie in the wind. Tie in the wind. Jodie Foster? No? Okay. That Jodie Foster. No. Imitation made me lose my balance. Okay, back to tree. I love doing this around trees because it just makes me feel closer to them. Okay, you bring the knee back into the chest. Hug it in. Finding that long warrior 3 again. Step back, warrior 3. You got it. Long warrior 3. You got this. You got this. Bending the standing leg. Softly coming back into crescent. Right hand comes back into that warrior, into that revolved warrior. Gaze back to the back thumb. Then follow the arm as it comes down. Following that right thumb as you twist open to warrior 2. And then cartwheel the hands down, step back, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Oh, so good. Nice work, everybody. Going back into child's pose. Just because it's so nice to open up the shoulders, let's come to hands and knees. Bring the right arm up towards the sky. Thread the needle. Twist, open the body. Feel like you could bring the other arm to the left arm to the inside of the thigh. To accentuate the twist. Doing 3-dimensional breathing here. Breathing on all sides of the body. Bringing that arm back down. Pressing into hands and knees. And the left arm comes up to the sky. Paint the ceiling. Paint the sky. Sneak it underneath. Thread the needle. Left ear comes to the ground. Gaze up to the sky. Pressing back into hands and knees. Crossing the legs at the shins and sitting back into boom boom, extending the legs in front of you. I just feel like whenever I'm in yoga class and we move to the floor, I'm like so happy. I'm so relieved. Yes, I can sit. We're towards the end. I've done it with all that standing. Okay, let's hook the thumbs, raise up the thumbs, pressing into the ground with our straightened legs, and then just bring the hands to wherever it can kind of comfortably land on the legs, ankles. Some people can grab toes. Some people can bend their elbows when they grab their toes. Some people can grab their feet. It's not a competition. We're all going for the same amount of sensation. So some bodies have to go further to get the same amount of sensation. But if you're tighter, it's like, good for you. You don't have to go as further to get that sensation. And some people who are contortionists, they just are like flat on the ground and they don't even feel anything. Those poor people. Try to really release your head and neck here in this pose. And then slowly coming back up to seated. Let's do a wide-legged along the mat. And just tiptoeing our fingers forward. And then left hand comes over to the left leg and reach the right arm up over. Oh yeah. Pressing both legs, feet away from your body. And then if you can focus your body to face towards that knee. And then finding the ground and doing a rainbow arc with tiptoey spider fingers all the way over to the other side. First facing that knee, so we'll reverse what we do on the other side. Facing down. And then the left arm comes over and we side bend. Again, feeling both sits bones onto the ground. So not bringing one buttock up after we are reaching here. Nice. And bringing the feet together on the mat, standing the feet. Let's reach out here. Bring the knees together, the feet together, and we'll slowly lower one vertebrae onto the mat at a time. Nice. Bring the knees into the chest. Wiggle back and forth. Do a little self-massage here. Extending the feet up towards the sky. Let's bring the hands underneath the hips for a moment as we bring the feet to a 10-degree drop towards the ground, straight legs, and bring it back up towards 90, and then we'll go 20 degrees. We'll do like a protractor here. 30. Let's go to flexed feet and the heels are together. Let's go to 40, 50, so halfway down, 60, back up, 70, 80, and 90, and up, one more 90, and up. Nice. Bend the knees into a plie position. Once again, straighten up. Bring the knees into the chest. Do a simple twist. Left leg extends. Right leg comes over to the left. Reach out to the right. Gaze is over to the fingers. Bring that knee back into the chest. Interlace behind the thigh. Straighten the leg. Flex the foot. Point. Come to a float or a demi point and point. Flex. Demi point. Hug the knee. Release it on the ground. Left knee comes in. Folds over the body in a twist. Gaze over to the left. And feeling how much more you perhaps are in your body than you were at the beginning of the class, and maybe that bringing the knee into the chest, it's a little easier not to focus on magnifying irritations and to reality or hardening into disappointments. You feel this integration. Interlace behind the thigh. Straighten up the leg towards the sky. Coming into that point. First the demi-point. Point. Flex the foot. Demi-point. Point. And flex. Bring the knee into the chest, hugging it. Releasing it on the ground. Releasing the hands on the ground. Releasing the head back, the eyes sink back into the skull. The feet have weights on them, so they're soaking through the earth. The pelvis also sinking into the soft earth. Letting all effort around the breath and the body release. Finding stillness for a moment. Releasing the jaw, the heavy muscles of the eyebrows. Releasing, again, the eyes back into the sockets, letting them nestle back into the back of the skull. They're sinking down. Letting your thumbs completely relax. Each toe and each foot relax. The breath becomes effortless. Just breathing shallowly like a baby. You don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to do anything. Reveling in this sense of Satnam, I am this. This is all I am. I'm just loving awareness, presence. I don't have to prove anything, to prove my worth to be here. I am this. I am this ease. I am this glowing existence that actually connects us all, so that the oneness is truly more the reality. Letting yourself find stillness, resisting the urge to wiggle or itch, just allowing stillness to claim your body and gravity. Feeling the force field of your aura around you, this kind of glimmering shield. And letting that aura turn into like a golden kind of egg around you. A protective bubble that claims your peace. And maybe just for this moment here, believing that that is all we have to do is claim moments of peace and expand them so that we can inspire others to do the same. So that we can move out of a violent society into a society where people feel okay enough to experience peace and pass it on. Letting your golden egg kind of become the border of your egg around your body become more of a vibrant gold, or it can turn also magenta or cyan or teal, or some color that, or purple, some color that is calling out to you. And I'm feeling this as a pact for your peace. When there's other energies that are coming at you with aggression or anxiety, they kind of bounce off this force field of loving awareness. Noticing if your mind attaches and grasps onto a thought or ground. And just letting go, free fall. Slowly coming back into this plane, listening for the furthest sound away from you in your space that you can hear, the most distant. There be ocean or traffic, or the ocean of traffic, a saw out. Furthest sound from you. And then moving in towards a nearer sound, perhaps it's my voice. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your feet, circling with your ankles, wiggle your fingers and spread your fingers wide, coming to a soft fist and then spread your fingers wide again. Rolling over to one side into a fetal position, slowly, like a woman who's 9 months pregnant, releasing into the ground with heaviness. Being newborn into your golden egg of peace. Pressing slowly into the ground to come to a seated position. Coming into a cross-legged or kneeling position. Bringing the arms up to prayer. Bringing that thumb package to the third eye, honoring your intuition and where you know, where you can let the flow state happen with focus, trusting that all that you know. Bringing that to the heart. Exhaling out, we'll do one final to close this class. Exhale out, inhale, breath into the deep abdominals. Bowing. Namaste. Sharing this exhale around the world with you, however you experience it. It's very exciting to have a moment of peace with you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of this circle.
as I just, stumble like a